here. Hello, Darius. I have 4 baits that apparently belong to you, Darius, but I don't know what color you want them. There's the other part of the dynamic duo, the Builder Dude. I won't reveal what baits I have of yours, Darius, but Builder Dudes knows. And Epic Eric knows. And they have your name on them. And they say, paint me. But I don't know what color. You know what color? Or do you know what? I know you know what baits. Is it cold as a witch's ninny at your house, Burns? Builder Dude? The special fish catching color. I have a lot of those. I have an abundance of those, Builder Dude. That's all I paint. Dolphins or Mountain Dew? Okay. The regular, is Mountain Dew the one with the chartreuse? Yes. Root beer is the regular one, and Mountain Dew is the chartreuse with the green. Okay. I get confused. I have to reset my brain on some of these colors sometimes. Builder Dude, your truck dicked up? Tell me about it. Let me hear a Builder Dude truck story. Hello, JP. What's new up in your neck of the woods? You been fishing lately? Wow, check engine light? Shit, that shit's on. That shit never goes off and off. There's probably there's probably some look at emission shit. You got a converter throwing a code, O2 sensor. My money's on an O2 sensor. Maybe you could have not tightened your gas cap good and it started sucking a little air and you threw a code for that. Could be it ain't shit. Yeah, it's a sensor. Let's go to Harbor Freight, get you a scanner for about $40, and then you can scan it and see what it is and clear it. Or if you don't want to buy one, everybody does it for free now. They'll diagnose your thing. Ooh, Maryland Bass Nation State Championship on the Potomac. I like that they do it this time of year because it separates the men from the boys. When it gets cold and like the bite gets challenging, I feel like that's when the cream rises to the top. Not in March, not in April. I feel like anybody can win those if you just stumble across the right wad. But this time of year, things get tricky. Gonna go in the morning, see if fishing's better. Well, report back to us, Darius. Let us know what you find. Let us know your findings. I can't find my split ring pliers. Can y'all imagine that? Drop shot? Yeah, I like that. I mean, I don't like that, but I do. Well, I would blame it on the kids, but the kids haven't been here, so this is definitely painter dude issue. Huh. Well, you want to see what I got on Whatnot? They were having deals. I had to give me some baits to paint. Old Norman, big in. If anybody wants these hooks, let me know. So you got one of those. Water temps in the low 50s? Dang, it got cold quick. Last report I heard on the river, on the Alabama River, it was like 65. What did I do with those hooks? All right. Get these snipped off. I do, but I got to do Eric's. I got to do Eric's. Builder dude. Every time I finish his, paint one of yours, and then by the time I get that one done, one of his again. We alternate. We're alternating. Are you talking about with buying these baits? Yeah, these are for I keep having complaints that there's nothing on my website. So this is the stuff that I'm trying to accumulate to put on the website. Different flavors of stuff, mostly vintage. Stuff that I like. And I've got a bunch over there in a drawer. And I figure paint a few here and there. And then once I get them all done, I can put them all up at once and have a very I have a very full website. I mean, it won't be crazy full, but it'll be a little bit full. Oh, that was a. I got this Mega Bomber screw tail. I've painted. I've never seen anybody talk about these, but I'll tell you what I have done. I have painted a lot of them, and it's typically for guys in East Texas. Could be a 9A, Darius. You might know better than me. I don't keep up. I don't know jack shit about bombers. I know the screw tails are the old ones, but besides that, I don't know. I'm not a bomber aficionado. I think I just broke it. Sounded like cracking. Probably. Oops. Yeah, I've behind the scenes had lots of these sent in, but I've never heard anybody make make them public. So who knows? Who knows? Sleeper, they would call it. What's wrong with this? New prototypes? Uh-oh. What did y'all cook something up in the boat? Did y'all cook up a bait? I did grab this flat A. It was clear. Figured it'd be easy enough to strip. I really would like to have my split ring pliers. I don't know where they're going. But y'all will still see these soon enough. Bandit. Paid up for this. I gave 7 for it. Figured I'd spend a little. Norman. No dada. No pupil. Norman. That's the ones I like. Because you can basically just wipe the paint off of them. One was fire, but you wouldn't like it. Why? Was it ugly? Or was it deep? Which was it, Darius? Ugly or long-lipped? Oh, let's see. Take my trash out. My trash can's full. Theo, what's new? These don't need to cut off. We were working on two that run 10 foot. But people really fish 10 feet? People really fish 10 foot of water? That's scoper country. You know what to me is the most exciting thing, and I think I just found it, is when you buy a used like junky ass bait and you get the bait in and it has Braun Gamakatsus on it. And you're like, shit, this thing's actually got good hooks on it. Not old, like rusted out, these old brownies. This one, it's got good ones. I mean, they got a little tarnish on them, but they're still sharp. Yeah, come back. This thing never focuses, and now it wants to. There we go. This color's kind of sexy. I might leave it. I might just add a little something to it. I don't know what that would be. How many did I get total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. 5 Normans, a Bandit, Flat A, Big Bomber, Killer Bee, Bagley. Usual stuff I buy. It goes into the box. Add it to the box. I got all kinds of stuff in here to paint. Skitter Pop. Old Butyrate 100 Bandit. Hello, AJ. Norman. Big Shad Wrap. Poppin' Image. Bitten Image Junior. What else? Big ends. I got a lot of big ends. Just stuff. Crazy Shad. Old piece of shit 1-. For people that like that. There's another Bandit 100. I got 2 of the 100 series Bandits that have the Butyrate bodies with the bone bill. Here's a Bandit 300. Flat A. So it goes in the pile with the rest of the stuff. I gotta give me a sandblaster. I gave me a blast cabinet. I've been putting it off. It's time. I'm sick of dealing with this shit. Sick of dealing with this shit. There's a Risto. $200 Bandit. Oldie. Black DD14 Norman. This could be the most succulent redfin on planet Earth. All the blueback lake dudes would probably pay $50 for this. Or more. Like, there's a good redfin. It's just the wrong color. Needs to be bone. There's another good redfin. Wrong color. So, yeah. Oh, look at this paint job. Look at this custom paint. I'll probably just put this one on the website as is and just call it good. Sign the bottom. You think anybody'd notice? Where's my pen? The person used more paint. They did. They did. What were they thinking? They didn't get the memo. They used like I don't know what this is. It looks like nail polish for sure. Especially given the palette, it's like a nude brown color, which I can see finding in the nail polish section, and that red looks nail polishy, and it's like it's got a gloss to it. So I'm betting that that was 100% nail polish. Actually, this could have been Eric's bait. This could have been Eric's bait. So he could have lost it years back before he honed his skills. Somebody found it and brought it back. Somehow I ended up with it. I don't know. Flat Max Bandits. Got a few of those. Yeah, I got stuff. We got stuff. I like to have this stuff laying around for when I need it. Because it's not good when you wake up and you say, "Oh, I don't have anything to paint." I don't have anything to paint. All right. What's up, Bobby? Bobby. I've had these for, I couldn't tell you how long. Could not tell you how long. 6 cents Curve 55. I think I got them for free. I don't remember how I got them. And I was going to paint them. I just never felt like it. Those don't sell. That's probably why, AJ, is your horror stories with 6 cents products. I said, well, I'll probably leave those as is then. Are they not good? Like, are they not a good wigglewort bait? Let me know down in the comments. It's the 6 cents Curve as good, or not as good, but will it run with one of these? Is anybody in the Ozarks picking this up before a rock crawler or a wigglewort or a Brad's Wiggler or anything? Yeah, people love the flat 75s. Casey's got a cool story about that bait where I think he got the first prototype in and he took it out to Conroe. And I want to say the first, don't quote me on this, but maybe the first cast he made with that bait, he caught a 7-pounder on it, I think, maybe. I painted some flat 75s not too long ago, and they wanted to wrinkle up on me. I don't know what they do over there, dude. Sometimes you get baits that you could drop off in Chernobyl and they would be fine. Like the paint would be fine. Sometimes you get the same manufactured bait in the same color and you put like a dab of alcohol in it and the paint goes haywire and starts wrinkling up and bleeding and doing crazy stuff. So I don't know what it is. It's weird. I guess they just grab what they got, run out of something, go get something else. So yeah, it's a good point, Bobby. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans in the chat. Builder Dude, Bobby. Did I figure out my lacquer issue? You mean not being able to find lacquer thinner? That's my only lacquer issue. Is I went to the paint shop, and I have it happen with Strike King too, AJ, and I don't understand it. Like some Strike King, like hybrid hunters, you could like just throw them in a bath of lacquer thinner and nothing will happen to them. And then some you like dab with a Q-tip of wax and grease remover and they just want to like completely wrinkle up. It's weird. Well, he will be Builder Dude. Future Bobby. But no, I went to the paint shop and I said, I would like 5 gallons of your finest lacquer thinner. And she said, we don't have any. Said, well, where is it? She said, they haven't been sending it to us. So, well, okay. So she didn't act like, she acted like that was the end of conversation. So, okay. So I said, fine, I'll go find this shit somewhere else. So came back to the shop, got around on the computer, started pecking around, called a couple places. They said no. So I pulled out the damn can and I called those people in Arizona. And I said, where would I acquire your lacquer thinner? Like, do you have your website doesn't have shit on it. Can you tell me where I can buy this stuff here? And she said, yeah, go to this paint shop. I said, I just left there. They didn't have any, and said you hadn't been sending it to them. And she said, yeah, well, all the stores are run independently. So how they get orders varies upon like each individual store. It's like, okay. I said, can they order it? And she said, they could if they want to. She said, but it's up to the store. I said, okay. So I went back to this. I called the lady. I said, hey, I was just in there looking for the lacquer thinner. And she said, yeah. I said, can you just order it? And she said, oh, yeah, no problem. Why didn't you just tell me that earlier? And she's like, how much do you want? She said, you wanted 5 gallons, right? I said, yeah, order 10. She said, okay. So didn't know I died. I'm sure they mean well, Bobby. It's got to get at least 20 years in. Bobby, you can't be too far off. How many years in are you? But we should have lacquer thinner, is the moral of the story. Tomorrow is the big day. But I haven't been able to paint or clean or do anything. A little over 15. I thought it seemed like you'd been in the game for a while. So you're creeping. You're creeping up. Hello, Brian. Getting there. All right. Epic sheds. I gotta sand these gargantuan motherfuckers. I hate these damn things. Sorry, Eric. Sorry, Builder Dude. I hate these fucking things. They're huge. It's like sanding 3 baits in one. Bobby, just know that all those wonderful epic sheds you have, I curse every time I sand one. Bobby's creeping. Are the northern people? Are y'all? Y'all are about pooped out on the fishing, huh? Eric seems to like that thing in the early spring. If the weather cooperates, hope you can come back in December. Now we're talking. Do that. Do that, builder dude. It was not Bateman, Jeremy. It was just some old knickknacks. Nothing too special. Nothing special. Builder dude wants revenge. That's the one. That's the one BBC likes. I think BBC said that was his favorite builder dude crankbait. Rat brain. Or he's caught more fish on that one. Which is odd. An odd choice for the BBC. Maybe he liked the name. Maybe it was all psychological. The name, the paint job, it all clicked, which translated to fish catches. Four more baits to paint. One is the medium new mid diver. Well, is that gonna be you gonna take that with you and test it? Plug out the mother-in-law. I envision like an episode of like Home Alone when all the family's there before they take the flight. That's what I picture Bobby's house looking like right now. Kids crawling everywhere, drinking Pepsi. Not to test, to fish. To drain the bass population of Kentucky Lake with one crankbait. Ratman's going to push him to his punk era. I don't think he's got it in him. I'll tell you what, though. You know, BBC picked up the guitar. If you're not familiar with guitar, I'll show you. So there's a thing called alternate picking. And what alternate picking is like you go up and down on a string like that. But then there's straight down picking where you just like do down. BBC has the most, for a beginning guitar player, he has the most obscene mechanical, like fast down picking technique I've ever seen in my life. I feel sorry for his girlfriend. Like he has like Ride the Lightning James Hetfield down picking technique, and the dude can't play any songs. But his down picking technique is like a 30-year-old vet. It's pretty incredible. Brian, I've never had like that, like rabid down picking technique, like, like a James Hetfield type rhythm. It's like the only thing BBC can do. It's like he didn't even try. Like he didn't have to practice it. What's wrong with YouTube, Jeremy? Jeremiah? I wish BBC go into a punk phase. That'd be make things a little interesting. What's new in the fishing world? Is there anything? This is usually the time of year when the cheater, the new cheating kid. That's what's going on. Y'all see that guy? It's up in Pennsylvania. Hello, Eric. Just painted a lure with an airbrush. What color did you choose? It's always my. It's always something that interests me when you finally sit down, you get everything, all the gear. What color do you paint it? Oh, but the cheater kid. So apparently he was winning all these kayak tournaments, and he had a cutout from a kayak in the back of his boat. So I guess he'd just go run his boat around, catch his fish, and then he'd sit in the cutout from the kayak on the back of his boat, take the picture, and then keep fishing in his boat. And then when he caught a fish, he'd go to the back and sit in the kayak, which is pretty damn hilarious. Pretty damn hilarious. Dude was slick till he got caught. But whatever. Whatever, bro. I'm sure there's a YouTube video, like all the bottom feeding YouTube and social media people, like they see something like that and they're like, oh shit, I gotta post, I gotta get my video out. I gotta get my reaction out to this before anybody else. And they all like, it's gross. It's gross. Gotta be the first. Dude, who gives a shit? The big blade bait? I think it has its properties. I wish they wouldn't have made it so ugly. They would have probably sold a lot more of them. But unfortunately, it looks like dog shit. Sent someone the wrong baits yesterday, so now I'm oversold and have to paint one more so that I can ship it out tomorrow. That's not terrible. You could have done what I did and oversold a Burns batch, which I did this last time because my website fucked up and didn't update the inventory. So yeah. So yeah, I need to ask Builder Dude if he'll build me 2 more little those little baits that I just painted. The medium diver with the Lexan and the shallow diver, because finished all the baits and there was 2 missing. Oh no, Jeremy, blade baits are sexy. There's plenty of sexy blade baits, bro. They just don't have to be. What's that? I've seen a lot of sexy blade baits, but once they get bigger, they get a little uglier. There used to be one on like Temu. Brian, actually, it could be you. If you want to work out a deal, I could swap your baits out and do more and sweeten your deal. Because I do have your box. I mailed out all the other boxes, but I went to the post office and they were closed. And I just jammed their fold down box on the inside full of these boxes. And when I got to the last one, I couldn't open it. And then I jammed a bunch of boxes into the other one. And when I finished filling it up, it wouldn't open. So I jammed them 2 full. And I had 1 box left, and it was yours. It wouldn't fit because it was an extra big box. Have them done in a day. That would be most excellent, Builder Dude. Boats going into storage, yeah. So Brian is the candidate. Perfect. Thank you, Brian. Well, the crazy thing was that it showed that there was 2 left on the website, and I knew there wasn't. So I went in and I pulled those off, and I think while I was doing that, somebody might have ordered one or something, but it was out of whack. It was out of whack. Cheating has always been there. People never knew how bad it was. Yeah, I think definitely social media started, because you got to think, like, cheaters back in the day, they got exposed and they get put in the they might get put in the newspaper. You know what I mean? They might get a little article written about them in the newspaper. But besides that, you're just like in your little community getting reamed. Outside of that, nobody knows. Now the whole world knows when some dickhead cheats in Pennsylvania. Yeah, Mike Long. We got weights and fish. I saw somebody post we got we got kayaks and boats. I got a good laugh out of that. We got kayaks and boats. We got weights and fish. That one really got stinky. Luckily, it's those dirty ass walleye fishermen. Not us. Not us elite bass guys. What am I doing? Most fishermen don't even know who Tony was. No. I don't, I mean, I don't know that, like, if Mike Long tells any kind of story, like, who really gives a shit outside of like a very small group of fishermen? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, maybe it would maybe appeal to, I don't know, if you marketed it right, you could probably appeal to, you know, a lot of folks, but I don't know. We got Bass Boats with artificial kayak snake hole sitting compartments for $423 tournament. You're still a walleye fisherman at heart. This is true. This is true. They find me. I don't even fish for them, and they just kind of they find me. I mean, the thing of, like, I don't want to see an interview because he has nothing to defend. You know what I mean? Like, do I want to listen to him lie more to me? No. Like, do I want to hear some sort of fucking sob story? No. Like, no, that dude can fucking go live in his hole wherever he's at. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, he's probably got some cool stories, but they're screwed now. I mean, if you listen to the Charles Beatty, like, he was a poacher and he was breaking the law, but he was just doing it for sport. You know what I mean? People love listening. I love listening to his stories. Uh, but he was hunting on all those ranches that nobody even knew where he was. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have mattered in a million years how many deer he shot off the, like, King Ranch or whatever. So, we were, Jeremy, it's funny you say that. I saw somebody post one of those on Universe, and it had his signature on the side, like in the design of the bait. And I started thinking, when we were talking about the last time somebody had their full signature across a bait, I saw that bait and I said, shit, it was Mike Long. Gross. The fame, the fishing fame. Could you imagine if they got actual famous, like Hollywood famous? Oh, man, wonder how much shit he catches now. None. Like, you think he goes to the grocery store and people are like, "Hey, you piece of shit, snagging some groceries, loser." Like, do you think that happens weekly or not at all? Well, that's what's always really pissed me off about the a lot of the guys in the fishing world. They get a little I don't even notoriety, and and you would think they're the net like they're in a bass tournament. The next thing you know, they're at the damn Playboy Mansion with Hugh Hefner. Like, bro, no, you're like a dipshit fisherman. Like, you're not famous. Like, you're famous to like a little group of people, but like in the grand scheme of reality, like your ego does not reflect what's actually happening here. You know what I mean? Like you get these pro bass dudes that think they're like hot shit. It's like, bro, these aren't like models waiting in line for you like after your tournament to like sign their boob. Like it's a bunch of old like 50-year-old dudes that want you to like sign a crankbait. Give me a break. You're not video game player famous. No. You're not YouTuber. You're not YouTuber streamer, Twitch streamer famous. Bobby, I miss those days. Honestly, I think it was cool as shit when like there'd be an article come out about some dude catching a giant on a live crawfish, and you could learn about stitching a crawfish and like, you know, because like I feel like back then during the like world record chase, it was like whatever it takes, live bait, fake bait, whatever. Those guys were just trying to catch like the biggest fish possible, which I thought was awesome. Probably fine if I saw me at the Piggly Wiggly. I'd probably buy you a bag of chips. If somebody recognized me at a grocery store. So, you know who I am? So, shit, dude. I'll buy your groceries. Then my card gets declined. You have to buy mine. I was winning a local derby out of a 15-foot John boat in my late teens, and a guy was saying I was cheating. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Oh, the old bait hang. Oh yeah, that's a story old as time. That shit will never not happen. The old bait hang. Yeah. No, unfortunately. Bait hanging's here to stay. You know, so funny as a kid, I was so stupid. I thought I'd look at all those magazines. I could be reading Bassmasters and Outdoor Life, and I'd see those guys hanging over the boat with big fish. And it wasn't until like, I got a little older that I realized that how staged those were. It was a wee bit heartbreaking. When you wake up and you realize that guy didn't just happen to take a photographer out with him and catch an 8-pounder. He's not that good. Swim baiters? Yeah, they've been known to hang a baiter too. They've been known to be a little bait hanging. in the swim bait world. But they want to jump on somebody for not fishing their baits enough. It's like, bro, 50% of the people in any of these pictures have like hung the bait in the fish's mouth and probably wasn't caught on it. I need to take these baits home, do this at home. Start hanging horrible baits. You could do the reverse. Trying to think of something horrific. It's the ugliest bait I've got. I don't think if I got any weird ones. Yeah, I'm sure I do. I'll take this one. I'll take this one up to Minnesota next summer and catch a big one on a frog and then put this in its mouth. I told y'all the story about my old you can run by and get Bebe's car seat. Okay. I told y'all the story about my old fishing partner Jody and Bass Fishing Homepage. So we were in college and he had this buddy that was taking all these he's real good with computers and he was taking all these like computer science classes and he was taking like learning how to code for like HTML and XML and all that kind of shit. It's when you actually had to code. And same era kind of when you could get on MySpace and you had to like type in the code to like add pictures to your background and shit. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't just, you had to actually code it. He did that. Him and Jody and his friend that was into coding. On Bass Fishing Homepage, if you were maybe a paid member, you could post pictures. So a lot of the sponsor guys, like I think Mike Bucca was one of them, and Troy Jens and all those guides. Those guys would pay a little money, and I guess they could post pictures in their reports. Well, Jody and this other dude figured out that you could put a little longhand code and insert pictures without being a member. Like without paying any money, you could insert pictures. So they would do these fishing reports and they would be so obscene and like they would just be absurd. And they did one where I think it was on Sam Rayburn and they pretended to be Takahiro Omori and they took a picture of Jody when he was like 16 and he was holding up two like 3-pound spotted bass that were dead like in the summertime, and the dude had like cut off khakis on and like no shirt, and they cut his head off and put Takahiro's head on his body, and like he's standing in the yard holding these two dead bass in like by a pine tree or something, and then I think all the other trees had like a bunch of leaves on them, like they were really green, like it was in the summertime. And they made this fishing report in like January and said that he was on Sam Rayburn. So Sam Rayburn in January is fucking cold. There's not any leaves on the trees. Like, it was obvious that, you know, this was not true. So they wrote the fishing report as if they were Takahiro, like in like broken English. And they, they said I caught these yesterday or whatever. And dude, people got so infuriated. They're like, "You dumb piece of shit, you're not Takahiro. There's leaves on the trees and you're wearing shorts and no shirt." Like, it's obviously a joke, but people like to vocalize that you didn't trick them. You know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, I'm going to tell you that I'm not dumb because I know that this shit is fake because it looks awful." But there was also on the other side, there was people that were like, "Takahiro, we love you. Can't wait to see your next report. Can't believe you're on here." Blah 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 blah. That had no clue that it was not Takahiro, and his picture of some 16-year-old white kid with no shirt on and his head cropped off, holding up 2 dead spotted bass in Alabama, is not the banks of Sam Rayburn in January. But they used to do that shit all the time, dude. They would like, I used to have screenshots of them. I bet I could find those. I need to, because I saved them. I think I emailed them to myself on my old AOL account. I think I saved them. I think I copied them and pasted them somewhere. But I used to take everybody's bullshit, like all of our buddies who would make fake fishing reports on there. I feel like they're floating around somewhere. And dude, talk about hilarious, like, fishing content. That era didn't get any better. It was like COVID smallmouth crush. Like, I could not wait to get home to like look up Bass Boat Central or Bass Fishing homepage to see what kind of like bullshit was on there. I guess those have gone downhill. Well, Bass Boat Central, I don't know. I don't know how much traffic it still gets. Bass Fishing homepage is long gone. I love it. The forum days were so good, dude. And I didn't participate. I was just a lurker. That's where I gained my lurking skills. But I'd like to go back to those. I'd like to go back to that era. Well, I got 3 down. Headed to Pickwick for the TBF National Championship in mid-March. Anyone feel free to DM bait info or favorite color info for the link. Dustin, I feel like I just put it in the mail for you. Pickwick. March. Can you A-rig? I mean, I feel like that's either going to be like a largemouth slugfest or it's going to be behind the dam. Do you scope, DT, or do you want to fish? There you go. Only if you have to. You're not great at it. So probably not. Yeah, it's going to be, should be some heavyweights. Should be some heavyweights. That'll be the good thing about it is if you go out there and catch 2.5 pounders, you know you're doing the wrong thing. You know what not to do. That was like my favorite tournaments to watch back in the day is those early 2000s when they'd fish in the wintertime, late 90s. They'd fish in the wintertime. And you'd see all the, or not in the wintertime, but like in the early spring. And it'd be cold as shit. And those guys would get out there and have all their damn camo jumpsuits on because that was the only people that made cold weather gear then. Possible. I guess it depends on what kind of winter we have. Was anything like last year? Might get a foot of snow. Are you allowed to lock through? That's a good question. Good question. Darius, it's snowed at your house already, Darius? Is that real? Launch, lake, and tourney dates. I mean, that's a swim bait. Swim bait current wins the Derby. Market prediction. Which I feel like every tournament early in the year is one the same way for the last. AJ, we're making it through. We had to drip our pipes last night. Got down to 31. Damn, it snowed at DT's house. It snowed at Darius's house. It's crazy. Had snow till probably 11 on the ground. What? Wow. I don't watch the news, so I don't keep up. Snowed Saturday night, stuck for around half a day. Wow, dude. That's nuts. Maybe it'll snow down here again this year. I can't tell you how much fun that shit was. It was a blast. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go home here in a minute. I'm going to take these baits with me, and I'm going to get me a nice campfire going tonight, and I'm going to sand these baits tonight around a nice campfire. And I want to be outside because I don't want to breathe this epoxy dust in like I'm doing right now. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. $70 in Nebraska, $70 in Kentucky. Cooler full of Rolling Rock, and you'll be set. I think that's the plan. Sit out there in the cool weather. Get the campfire going. Sand. Get some music playing. Watch a show. Trash day tomorrow. Correct. Gotta get the trash out. I gotta get this guy's swim baits painted. They've been hanging in there for 3 days since I've been out of lacquer thinner. Turn on Whatnot. I won't get shit done because I'll be going. Bling, bling. Wind to bad. Gonna be a hot deer season. Yuck. Nothing worse. Nothing worse. All right, bros. I'm gonna get out of here. Good talking to everybody. I'll stay warm out there. Pig with the kids. Pick what I bid on Whatnot. I let the bean do that one night, and she kind of got the. I kept telling her what was trash and what was not trash, and she wanted to buy what she thought was pretty. I'm like, no. But KVD 1.5 is not pretty. She's like, I like the color. I'm like, no, you don't. It's trash. She's like, okay. If you swipe left on the stream, the chat and the bid goes away. How about that? AJ, did you find the old school thinner? Or are you buying the small jugs? Or did you find somewhere that had the 5 gallons? That shit comes all the way from Arizona. It's a long way. It's a long way. I need it, though. I need it. Bad. I think like Duplicolor or somebody like at AutoZone, I think they have like a premium lacquer thinner. I've never bought it, but when I was doing my Google searches trying to find somebody that sold good lacquer thinner, that popped up. It's enjoyable just watching people. I like just watching people sell stuff. Not the people that sell like the overstock shit really bugs me. That's not entertaining. But like a regular person that's just like, hey, I've got like 5 tackle boxes and I'm just going to dig this shit out. I don't really know what it is. And let's just sell it. That I enjoy watching. Like somebody that's like, all right, I got 2 bags of Guggen bait, whatever. I'm like, no, bro. And there's lots of those guys. Every time I go in there and like find somebody selling shit, it's like the overstock dudes. So I like it. I think this is the second box I ever bought off of Whatnot. The first one I bought off of Carl Akern. We've seen him on here. He gets on. He's in the Smallmouth Crush streams. The Scalloper. It's in the seafood industry. He sold some. He did it. I got on his first Norman stream. Bought a couple baits. Tried to support him on his stream. It was him, and then this last batch of shit I bought. No, this is the third. There was a guy. There was a guy selling. I got a pretty good deal off of him. He had this bunch of baits, and he's like, "Oh, these things are just trash. I'm not even going to list those unless somebody wants them." And he showed them, and I was like, "Hey, why don't you? All the baits that you think are like beaters." I wrote it in the comment. I was like, "All the beater baits, put in a lot." And he's like, "Okay." And those two Bojacks, like an old crusty looking like Bandit. There was a bunch of good shit in there. And he's like, "That was $5 now." Like, perfect. Run it. There were not many on that Balsa stream. He was bitching about cost. Bitching about cost of what? That people were paying? He was complaining that the baits were going too cheap. I don't know how you complain about that. Guys weren't bidding the baits up enough. That's so stupid. Like, if you have a price you want, don't run an auction. Don't blame the people for not like overinflating the price. That's always bothered me. Like that's the whole risk of running an auction. Catching Concepts went for under 10 at one point. I mean, that's cheap. Yeah, he lost money on that. But he probably made up for it too on some other bullshit. You know what I mean? If you think it's worth $30, don't start it at $1. Start it at 25. Maybe you lose 5 for what you think it's worth, then you're safe. I don't know. Do whatever you want, but it's always irked me when people in those streams or certain streams you see, and they're like complaining to the viewers that they're not bidding enough. And it's like, who the fuck are you, dude? That's the other thing. It's not like the people that, especially on a Whatnot stream, I've never seen any, like, the most I've ever seen is like 40, 50 people. I'm sure Milliken gets a bunch, but for the most part, like 20 to 30 is a pretty good crowd. The majority of those people are not experts on what you're putting up. And the ones that are probably aren't going to pay anything. They're not going to pay a premium for them because they know prices and baits and all that kind of shit. And those guys are probably looking for a deal. But like the other, 80%, 85, 90% of the people, they don't really know what that shit is. So they're not necessarily going to like blow the prices out of the water just because they don't know. They're just looking for some shit to fish with. Yeah, I think that's the Brian, at the end of the day, if you're selling, I mean, if you're selling a Rapala that you paid $8 for and somebody gives you 10, that's 2 more than you started with, so you're doing pretty good. So I saw a Guggen Contender Texas blue red version for 120. That's disgusting. Yeah, the Milliken kids get. I say kids, they're grown men, but they get excited. I mean, I wouldn't pay an exuberant amount, but I would pay a pretty fair amount for one of Casey's old paint jobs on a crankbait. Pre corporate 6 cents. And I saw some on eBay like a couple years ago, and I was like, man, I should have bought those. Because the dude didn't know who painted them or what they were. And as soon as I saw them, I was like, damn, Casey's paint job. And but I would pay up for something like that just because of historical significance that I think it's cool. And it's something that I looked up to like coming up. You could, Ryan, because people don't know. And I don't think Casey signed his baits. I don't think. What lip? It was like a little rounded medium diving Lexan. Mm. Yeah, it kind of looked like a little DT6 lip. He might. I mean, I feel like they've been. He won't have them the era I'm talking about, but he's probably definitely got some Casey paint jobs from like Casey getting prototypes and painting them. I know. I bet he's got probably quite a few. He won't have the old ones though. No, that was. I know him and Ben have known each other for a while, but I don't think not from that era. Not from that era. It was dorm room era. Somebody should do a biography on that guy. Not Mike Long. 6 cents. The Rise. Oh, is that this week? Oh, I might have to take off dad duty and watch a program with Builder Dude. I'll have to be active in the chat. Is it next week? I don't know. Hello. Which neighborhood? What you get?